Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Everybody who's on IG right now on this live, make sure to follow us. I see you, Erica. Let me pin this comment, and then I'm going to send you the request. Shout out to Sid, everybody who's tuning in with your friends. I'm about to send you a request in 1 second. Just pin this comment, then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, you doing?
Hey, look at this.
Hey, I appreciate you so much, man, for just coming to the platform. Thank you for reaching out. Wanted to have more women on the platform, so it was actually perfect timing when you reached out. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's do it. So starting off, you are an educator. How did that journey start for you, and when did you know that, hey, I want to be in education?
Yeah, for sure. So I think my educational journey definitely started with myself, right? Like my experience with the public education school system wasn't good at all. I felt a lot of times like I was kicked out, because I was kicked out, right? And I didn't feel like I was ever accepted. So I felt like I was having all these problems. I was in foster care at the time, and I just wasn't getting the love that I needed. And so somewhere along the way, I ended up being like, what if I could reach back, right? And support those children who felt like me during that period of time. And I got into education super early. I worked at like Bayview-Hurst Point, which is considered the projects of the projects in San Francisco, California, right?
Wow.
And so I started working there before I was even credentialed, because nobody wanted to work with those children, the same children that I ended up loving on and adoring and all of these other things. And then my journey just kind of progressed from there, for sure. So it kind of started with my own personal life and being like, I didn't get what it was that I needed. Let me see if I can kind of come into this system and provide that to some of the other babies that were similar to me.
Gotcha.
And I got picked out a lot, but respectfully so. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was acting up, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't worthy of that love. So,
That's right. That's right. When you initially reached out to me, when you told me about yourself and what you did with like independent contracting, to be honest, I never knew about that. I never knew that that was like an avenue for educators to take, because usually when we hear about people who are teachers, they complain about the salaries, it's too much work, low pay. How did you get put on game to the fact that you started knowing about this? You've been featured on HBO, all these platforms. So how did this whole thing start?
Yeah, so I mean, the long and short of it was I was tired of being broke. Like, at one point, I knew that I loved education and I loved teaching and I loved my babies. I never loved the public education school system, but I know this ain't that podcast, so I'll save it. But like, I loved what I did, but then I didn't love struggling. Like, every single check coming in, I don't have a way to fully cover my bills. Now I'm going into debt trying to cover my bills. And then I'm spending, because of the areas in which I was teaching in, I'm now spending my money, my family's money, on just getting baby shoes and getting them pencils and getting them supplies. And I knew that something was going to have to give. Either I was going to give up teaching to do something else that paid me more, or I was going to figure out a way to really get paid what it is that I deserve and still be in education. And so that's what I did. So after 7 years of being in education, and it's so funny because Facebook showed me, you know how they show you like your flashback memories? So 2 years ago, I posted a status that said, currently trying to figure out how to negotiate $7,000 more on my salary, #adulting sucks. And I knew something hit different when I got the $7,000 I asked for, and I still wasn't satisfied. Like, they approved my $7,000, and I still wasn't happy, right? So I was like, all right, yeah, something's got to change. So then I ended up doing research, and I started learning about independent contracting. And when you independent contract, you literally set your salary, right? So then I started testing the waters. Like, let me throw out this much, see if somebody take it. Let me throw out that much. And then people started taking it. So then I started throwing out more. And I was like, wait. So I don't know how it works in terms of the line item on districts. Like, how are they able to pay so much? But they're able to pay so much. Like, for the last 3 years, I've been getting banked off of what I do. And I'm great at what I do because of contracting, right? So, yeah.
I love that. So what advice do you have for teachers who want to leverage their work? Because that's the key word that in the DM that you sent me that I loved, where you were talking about leveraging your value. So how do educators leverage that value?
Yeah. So the first thing is, it's not specific. Contracting is not specific to teachers or educators. It's anybody who's popping in their craft. So if you're good at what you do, if you're a janitor and you can clean the heck out of an office space, you can contract your services. If you're a carpenter and you can lay down the heck out some carpet, you can get contracted for your services. What contracting does is it takes away the third party company that you work under and it takes you directly to the other company. You get what I'm saying? So you take out that middle. Well, the money doesn't get taken out. It's just the money now gets given to you. And so if you want to start contracting, the first thing is you have to know that you are popping at your craft. There should be nobody that's able to touch you. Your resume needs to be long in terms of your experience. You need to really be able to leverage your talent, which means tuning in on what you're good at. You can't be good at everything. You get what I'm saying? One of the things I DM do is like, how do I record this call? Because technology ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta know where your talents are and you have to highlight that. And then the other thing too is there are some classrooms that districts have a hard time filling. It just happens to be that those are my favorite classrooms. So the classrooms with the kids that's acting up, the classrooms with the kids that can't read, the classroom with the kids in special education, those are things that I like to do anyway. You get what I'm saying? And they have a hard time filling that. So I can come in and I can tell you, this is my number. You have an opportunity to accept it or not. I'll show districts other people's contract and say, this is what they're offering me. This is what I need. If you want to up that, we can take this. And then there are a list of other components as well. It's not just financial for me. It's other things as well. And we can get into that if you want to.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Okay. What are those other things?
Yeah, so I look at my hours. I like to be able to set my own hours. So a lot of times as teachers, you never stop working, right? You work when you're at school and then you go home to grading papers and all of these other things. And so now I'm at a point to where I tell my districts, I need an hour and a half of prep time a day. I need an hour of prep time a day, right? So I set my own schedule, which allows me to not take as much work home. Somebody like me is always going to end up taking something home, but it minimizes that, right? And then I can also let them know on top of my hours what I'm willing and not willing to do. Personally, I'm not sitting in no professional developments for stuff that I already know. I'm not interested. I don't want to. I've been there. I did that. I served that time. It's not what I'm doing. So I'll put in my contract to only be required to attend professional developments that are really something that I need, right? If we're having a fire safety where the fire marshal is coming out and all the classrooms have to be approved, that's something I have to attend. Or if your lockdown procedures are changing, that's something I have to attend. How to help a child with behavioral needs. It's not that I'm not always learning, but that's not worth my time right now because I've shown in history of me being able to do that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's really about setting how much money you want to make, what resources or what you're willing to put up with, what professional developments are you willing to attend? Are y'all giving me knowledge reimbursement? What supplies do you have? You know, and so on and so forth. So as a teacher, too many times we're just giving children and told to figure it out. As a contractor, you determine what it is that you're willing and able to put up with, which decreases your stress level and increases your salary. It's super unfair to a lot of educators that they get paid less than me and they have now less resources. It's messed up, but that's why you need to know the value of contracting and the value of being able to sell yourself, because I can sell the heck out of myself and respectfully so. You get what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that. Speaking out on that point, Erica, when you first know that if you want to work in like a certain district or if you want to negotiate your contracts, what are some strategies or some methods that you use that you can always get paid your value, and also you can walk in the room and just like what you said, sell who you are as a person and, you know, overall as a teacher? How do you do that?
Yep. So you set up your meeting with the district, and that looks like contacting and reaching out to HR and letting them know that you're interested in contracting. You tell the district, I'm interested in contracting with you, right? And then you look to figure out before you even get there, you want to go to that district's website and you want to see what positions they have available because you're filling that position. Okay, so you'll look and you'll see what position they have available, and then they'll say like something like K2 autism. Okay, then you'll reach out to the district and you'll let them know, hey, you know, I'm interested in working with. The key word is with, not for. We're not working for no more. We're working with. We partner, okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I'm interested in working with your district These are some of the things that I can offer. That's when you start to list out some of your experiences, right? For me, it would be dual master's degree, elementary special education, 7 years, autism class. You know, you start listing off your credentials, right? To get a meeting. Once you get a meeting, it's a matter of really selling yourself. What experiences do you have? Give real life situations. Don't just rely on them to ask you questions. You ask questions. That automatically changes the relationship right there, because it's no longer about whether or not you're choosing me. It's about, am I about to choose you? There is a huge teacher shortage. People don't like teaching anymore, not because we don't love our babies, but because of the circumstances. Use that. Use the fact that there's a shortage. Use the fact that they need you really more than you need them. Use the fact that you have experiences, you have talent. Be confident in who you are. And then when you sit down in that room, they'll ask you all these questions. Answer them always honestly, because you want them to be able to verify. I always push my contracts. Please verify references. They actually don't always verify references, believe it or not, but I want them to, because it's not just about Erica saying she popping. You should be able to call my last 2 principals and they tell you I'm popping too, right? So sit down with them, really sell yourself, and then start asking them questions. You know, about how, you know, what is random. You can really ask them anything. You can ask them about what supplies do they have. You can ask them about what are their teachers' required hours, which you're going to negotiate anyway. But this is just to make conversation. The other thing too is a lot of times when you contract, you are contracting with very toxic districts. You got to know that. Now, for me, I was already with toxic districts. The public school system for Black kids is toxic all around anyway. It just is what it is. So if I'm working in a toxic environment anyway, doing what I love, I need to be compensated accordingly. And compensation is not just money. It's also time. Because now that I have more time, I can focus on my other businesses. And it's also like one of the things I negotiated, I don't want to share a classroom. Period. I don't know. I'm picky about my stuff. I'm picky about my space. Find a separate classroom. Is that something you can do? If a district say no, you got to decide, is it worth it or not? Okay, they're not finding you a separate classroom, but they give you $10,000 more than this other district. Is that something you can give up? You know, but I think the main thing, you have to decide where that bridge is for you. What is the amount in which you're willing to walk away? What are the circumstances in which you're willing to walk away? And walk away. The biggest issue mistake that people make in general is trying to hurry up and say yes, because they're going to put that pressure on you. Like, you know, we have 5 other candidates interviewing today. Cool. Have your 5 other candidates. I'm helping. So you can have your 5 other candidates and you still won't call. And I know that, because at this point I've seen that. I've leveraged contracts against each other. I've had people tell me I gotta tell them by the end of the day. Okay, well, I'm not ready to tell you by the end of the day. So if you're forcing me to tell you by the end of the day, then the answer is no. Be confident. Be so confident in who you are that when somebody else tells you something differently, it don't matter anyway. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times they'll put pressure on you. They'll be like, we have time periods. We have to get this position filled. If you could have got that position filled paying somebody $30,000 a year, you would have did that already. So don't worry about the time. Don't rush into that. There's a reason why you're sitting in that office. Walk away. Let them think about it. Somehow they always find more money. Always. Oh, we can't do that. We can't do that. Okay, that's fine. You can't do that. That's fine. That's your pockets. I'm not in your district pockets. I don't know what them line items look like. But you can't do that, and I can't do that either. Because I got a whole family to feed. So you can't do it. I can't do it. Ties are cut. Then all of a sudden, we happen to find a few extra. We're able to do this. All of a sudden, the language changes. So be confident in walking away. Stick with what it is that you feel like is right in your spirit, because you already know what's up. Don't let these places scare you. Yeah.
I love that. Erica, what you do is so important, because growing up myself around educators and having, you know, certain teachers that push me, especially Black women, I don't think y'all get the type of praise that y'all need in education. Because it feels like having like extra moms. Like anytime I would get in trouble, they would call my mom, rough me up, get me right. And I think what you do is so important in your environment that you set. Like going through your Instagram, I saw how you had certain rooms for the kids in certain areas, like the kick corner, right? Things like that. How you have like certain sections for the kids to just like relax and unwind. How important is it for teachers to set a good environment for their students?
So setting a good environment is extremely important, but it's not as important as having a good relationship. So the problem with teachers is too many times they step in trying to be this authoritative figure, right? We walk in and we feel like I'm the teacher and you the child, so you sit down and you be quiet. And children don't respond well to that because I don't know you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a white educator. White educators have this problem a little bit more than black educators. They walk in kind of with this entitlement. I'm the teacher, you're the child.
Yeah.
I'm here to educate you. I'm here to save you. I'm here to help you. Children don't respond well to that. So before we even get into, the classroom environment and the classroom setup, I have to build a relationship with you. I should know what your goals are. I should know your family situation. I should know what you like, what you don't like. I should know what you're allergic to. I should know all of these things. So then when we're sitting down and doing math, I'm like, hey, Jamal, you want to be a rapper. In order for you to be a rapper, you got to be able to read your contract and do these numbers. If you can't do the numbers, you're going to get short on your money. I can bring it back to you. You get what I'm saying? When you start to struggle with something, I can remind that child on why you started in the first place. I can tell them why that's important because I have that relationship. There isn't one child that I taught that I can't tell you pretty much everything about them during that time period. So first you build the relationship because let me tell you, once you build the relationship, your classroom flows so much easier. They know my different faces. When I look at I don't even have to say nothing. It's a look. It's that side eye that's like, man, she ain't playing right now. You get what I'm saying? They know when I'm happy, when it's time for praying breaks, and when it's time to turn up. They know when it's time to, sit down and chill out. They can read you because you've read them first. So build the relationship. Once the relationship is built and established, being yourself, because I got to talk about this real quick. Building relationships does not mean cultural appropriating or pretending to be that child in order to connect with them. It's not
dancing in videos with the students.
It's not trying to learn different high fives and be good and be down for the team. That's not building relationships. That's now you imitating what you think their culture is. That's not what I'm saying to do. What I'm saying is establish a relationship with them for who they are, right? Get to know them for who they are. You can still talk yourself. You can still be yourself, but respect them and what they've been through and who they are and who they're presenting themselves to be. Now, once you got the relationship down, which for me happens pretty quickly, because if I'm going to spend 8 hours a day with you, I need to know who you are, period. Once you have the relationship down, then you focus on your classroom and making sure that your classroom is appropriate for that child. So I have kick it corners. Let me tell you what a kick it corner is. A kick it corner is a place that a child can go and they can chill out. As adults, we get overstimulated. As children, you get overstimulated. Everybody get overstimulated. Overstimulated meaning there's too much going on. I need a break. So when you know your child, you can see that buildup. So I can tell when a child is about this close to smacking the heck out of somebody, right? Like I can look at you and I can see. That's when I say, ooh, you need a brain. You need a brain break. You need to go to kick a corner. In the kick a corner, they can play with Legos. They can take a nap. They can get on the computer.
Like that.
Give them a time to say, this is your chill out moment. So kick it corner is essential. And pretending to give them tasks is essential. I don't know what it is about the child's brain, but when I see a child that is getting frustrated, maybe with a math problem or whatever it is we're doing, I'll be like, ooh, can you run this to the office for me real quick? Here you go. Go take that to the secretary. Now they going to go give a note to the secretary that says absolutely nothing because they just needed a break. You get what I'm saying? Our babies need breaks. They need to be able to move. Having them sit down 8, 9 hours, that's exhausting. That's exhausting for me. You see how much I done moved during this conversation? It's the same thing for them. So set your classroom up in a way in which they're able to be themselves, but still learn and still grow, and give them space when it's needed, and make your classroom homey and colorful. I could talk forever, but that.
No, please do. Hey, that's the purpose of this. You're good. You're good.
And then you could as you see fit. But one of the huge things about being self-employed as a contractor instead of working, directly as a teacher is I ball out on my classes every year. And get on my husband's nerves. He be like, Erica, you're doing way too much. But I like that. I like being able to deck out. Even my new home office is decked out, right? So I drop money on my classroom. I got the Burrell store system. I drop money on that. I drop money. I really like ball out. Like I tell people don't ball out with your money. That's the one time I do is on my classrooms. When I was teaching directly for the schools, I can only claim $250. What is that? I'm dropping for $800, $900, $1,000, and I'm only getting $250 back. As an independent contractor, when you are self-employed, you claim all that. You claim all your decorations, all your school supplies, all your snacks, your waters, the shoes that I buy these kids, me buying the knockers to be able to braid their hair. I claim all that on my taxes. Complete game changer. That in and of itself, before you get to your contract, saves you a ton of money. For somebody like me that's always buying something, I don't care how I budget, I always buy something for my babies. And I like my environment to be comfortable. So I'm gonna buy that new hot pink chair. That's what I like. You get what I'm saying? It's the one area in my life where I have very little restriction. So being able to claim that on my taxes helps a great deal.
Wow, you're dropping so many gems right now. I'm really enjoying this. Confidence, especially with our Black children, is so important. I remember growing up, I played sports, so I was more focused on sports. But of course, like, I still had good grades. But until I went to college, I really started taking like academics seriously. And I think that sometimes that we don't take academics serious, we are encouraged to take it serious, and more so towards sports. So how do we start making academics serious for us, and to also have confidence in the classroom? Because I think sometimes we get discouraged and say, hey, I'm not good at math or science, and we are, but we just aren't being pushed. So how do we become more confident in those things?
Yeah, so I didn't take academics seriously either, because my whole thing was I needed housing. I was coming out the foster care system. They, had told me that I was about to lose my little subsidized housing, and I needed somewhere to live. So I could care less about academics, right? That's not front of my mind. Eating, living, finding a shelter. And so you got to understand that children come in with all of that on their mind, right? They see their parents struggling to pay bills. They struggling to eat. They carry so much on themselves, and now you want them to show up and have their pencils and their homework ready. That's why I say build the relationship. Because if I know that your goal is to do sports, and I know your goal is to do football or whatever the sport is, I use that as my leverage. This is your goal. In order for you to get to this goal, you got to do this assignment. You see how that works? So you want to be able to be this big rapper, rapping. You want to be able to throw this football all over the place. You need to be able to read your contracts. You need to be able to understand the numbers in your contract. You need to understand how to do taxes. My curriculum goes so much above what the state standard is. You get what I'm saying? Because my whole thing is teaching children financial intelligence. It's teaching them how life works in general. What does it mean to be in debt? How do you pay bills? So on and so forth. And it starts to change that narrative early. So when you know your child, you can get them interested in academics, not because they care about academics, but they care about that end goal of being the next Jay-Z or being the next whoever this big star is. And having them understand that in order to get there, you have to do this first is extremely helpful and beneficial.
Yes, ma'am. Financial literacy, like you said, is so important. How do we start incorporating financial literacy in the classroom? Because when I was coming up, and I'm only 23, but in school, we never talked about taxes. We never talked about credit, finances, any of those things. So how do we start incorporating that into the classroom as well?
Yeah, so they don't teach, and they don't teach intentionally, because you got to remember the system is built around making you a worker, never the employer, right? So as long as that's the system in which we're operating under, they're not going to give us that information. For me personally, I've developed it into my curriculum, and I do want to just let educators know that when you start to bridge off and you start implementing your own curriculum, you may have issues, right? Like I've gotten in quote unquote trouble for it. Again, that's where attitude comes in. I can't be in trouble if I don't work for you. What you want to do, right? But anyway, I think it's important for you to think about what it is that you needed to know in your personal life, because that's how I teach. What is it that I needed to know when I was 8 years old, when I was 9 years old, that I didn't learn until I was 25, until I was 26? You take that way and you present it in a way in which children are able to understand it. And so I've been doing these daily tips. Every single day on my story, I do these financial tips, right? Except for Sundays, that's my day off. But I do these financial tips, and I put them in a way. I take the information from all these books that I study and all these tapes that I read, and a lot of times I'll have to read the same paragraph 5 times to be like, what are you talking about? Because that's not something I grew up understanding, right? But then once I understand it, I apply it, and then I put it in a way in which children can understand it. Realize his life wouldn't be much without our contributions and all the things that he's done, he's apologetic, so on and so forth. Okay, so this started a real life. And I accidentally named the character in the book Timothy, which was really the student that this book was after. So I had a little boy named Timothy in one of my behavioral classes. I won't say the school or the area, but I had this boy, and he had this very like Eminem type swag, right? Like gold earrings and a hat and a like gangster type. And he said the N word. And I ended up talking to him like, you need to watch it. And anybody knows me knows I have Black history in my class. I'm not shy spoken about who I am. Every classroom I got people brought somewhere in it. You get what I'm saying? But he tried it. Didn't know that, I was listening or pay attention. And used the N word. So then I talked to him about it, and he had this attitude like, well, why do we need Black people anyways? Honey, you don't even understand. It was very frustrating to me because already in how young he was, you've already had this privilege and this mentality where you don't even understand your life is your life because of our life. Like, you're the reason. Like, all this culture, all this little swag stuff you're doing came from somewhere. And it did not come from you. Okay? So let's clear that up right now. And I remember thinking, there should be resources. There should be a book. There should be something that clearly illustrates. Since y'all want to say Black people are gangsters and they're thugs and we're all these negative things, let's take everything that we done back. Everything that we done built, everything that we created, everything that we are, we snatch that away and we see how unseasoned your life will be. Now what? You get what I'm saying? And so that was the mentality behind this children's book. I wrote this book. Mind you, I'm a special education teacher, so I'm very mindful about the words that I use. But I wrote this book to clearly illustrate, honey, you wouldn't have no car because Garrett A. Morgan made the automatic gear shift. You wouldn't have no elevator because the Alexander who made the book. Don't get me started.
GPS.
And at the end of the book, I did like a portrait section that has these little bios. And so, I'm biased, but the book is phenomenal. But more than anything, it's an excellent teaching tool for teachers who are struggling to find, Black history or implement that in their class. Not Black history as a month, because we didn't just contribute for a month.
That's
but
right.
Black history in general, it's a great tool. So it came about from a real life situation in a book that I wish I would have had. And then everybody who was supposed to illustrate it, something happened. They fell through. So I learned how to illustrate. I learned how to draw to be able to do this book and my second book. So my first book came out in February. My next book came out a month later. Strong Like a Girl.
Too. Yes, Strong Like a Girl. Yes.
Yeah, and I just be working. Yeah. I think about what it is children need to know, and then I'll put it in the book. So
I love that. How can teachers, because I know there's a lot of teachers who have great ideas, just like yourself, how can they start to write books and do things in that same way as well?
Start. I think too many times we try to look for like, when should we start or how should we start? Literally get a notebook and a pen and start writing that idea out, because you can't edit from a blank page, as my husband always says. Like, if you don't get the idea out of your head and on paper, it'll never manifest. So put it on paper first. You get what I'm saying? Contact me. Let's get to work about editing. Let's get to work about crystallizing your ideas. And let's get to work out. But it really just starts with taking it out of your head. We have so many thoughts in the course of a day, and a lot of them are $1 million ideas. But we don't take them from here and put them into the world, so they never have an opportunity to manifest. So don't worry about spelling, grammar, how you speak, how you talk, your accent. Don't get into all that. That stuff can be edited. You get what I'm saying? Just take it from here and put it on paper, and you'll be able to do that.
My mentor, Dr. Jacob English, for a chance, he said, once you're the writer and the illustrator as well. That was
I'm a lot. I got a lot.
Wow, talented.
But yeah, I'm a writer, I'm an illustrator, I'm a mama, a wife, I'm a teacher. I got a school, opening next year. My school opened in 2018 as a summer program, Burrell Academy. That's going into year round. I'm giving financial tips because I want y'all to learn what I had to learn, and I got big goals. I got $400 million goals. So anything else is not going to work. I want to be able to go in and buy out the community and then give it back to the people. You get what I'm saying? So what I want to do is so big. And I will say this. I spent the whole 2019 applying for grants, trying to see who wanted to, help and support my dreams. Holy Spirit is what I call Black Jesus, God, whatever you want to call him. funded it yourself. You know, and I think that completely shifted. So that's what I'm doing. It's grind season. I have investments like crazy. I'm not touching the money that I'm building. I figured out, you know, a formula of what works in order to get wealthy, and I'm doing just that. And then I'm taking that money and I'm building out exactly what it is I want to do. Because a lot of times we look and we get pissed off about how other people spend their money. No, you get your money and you spend your money how you want to spend your money. Don't worry about somebody else paying $200. My husband told me somebody paid like $2,000 for a bottle of water, and automatically I was like, "What? Who does that?" Somebody who got $2,000 to spend on water. If that's what you want to do, that's right. Your pocket, that's your account. Let me not focus on what you want, and let me figure out what I'm doing. And so when you start to change your mindset and your perspective, because I can tell you right now, these little people that wrote these little books about investment, about money, they ain't worried about your money. They ain't worried about nobody else. They ain't worried about their money. So focus on your pocket and build out what it is that you want to do.
I love that. Erica, you've been phenomenal. We're going to keep this going. Something as well that you touched on with your academy, which I think is going to be amazing, and the school. What do you want for that legacy to be once everything is done with your academy? What do you want for that to be?
Man, so my goal, my big picture goal, because you start with your big picture and then we work backwards. So my big picture goal is to have Burrell Academies all around the world. Like I want my curriculum translated out. I want it to be the same energy. I want it to be the same, feel. I don't want them to be individually owned and operated. I want it to be this big branch of Burrell Academy. And what I want is for children to come out of Burrell Academy 5 years old, able to read fluently, able to self-advocate, able to know what investments are, what are stocks, able to pay bills. I want us to change the way that we think about children and what information that they should know. Because I'm telling you right now, working in public schools, our children are failing. Okay? They're being born into a system that was never designed for them to succeed in the first place, and then they're struggling until they get to prison. We literally have a public school to prison pipeline. Okay? Like, period. We have 5-year-olds that are being expelled. Black children don't get to be children. Black children are born criminals in the eyes of most. And so teachers a lot of times will teach from that perspective. I've seen the prejudice. I've seen the bias. So what happens, because I tried to infiltrate public schools from the inside. It didn't work. It didn't work because it was designed for us to fail in the first place. So what happens now if you have a system where we teach that baby early what it means to self-advocate? When you teach them early what it means to invest, when you teach them early all of these things that they'll never learn, then you go into this toxic system. But you go into this toxic system if you have to, already knowing and understanding your work, already to be able to tell a teacher, you're not going to be able to speak to me like that. That isn't okay. Teachers get away with stuff, admin get away with stuff because our children can't self-advocate. And then the parents that I work with are so frustrated, they're not asking the right questions. And parents, please, if you are watching this, stop trusting public schools in general with your children. That I'm not telling you to snatch them out altogether because I understand that financially speaking, it can be a lot going private schools out. And even some private schools, a lot of private schools stuff as well. But what I'm saying is ask those questions. You should know your teacher's name. You should know their beliefs. You should know their philosophies. You should know their curriculum. You should understand why your child is getting the grades that they're getting. Why is their self-esteem, getting low? What's going on? Who's bullying them? You need to be that annoying parent. That's what I call it. That parent that's bugging like crazy so that if something does take place, you can fix it. Also, when parents are involved, teachers are less likely to pull nonsense because they know that they have that representation, right? So there's a lot that definitely goes into it, but in short, Burrell Academy is giving that child the start that they deserve. We started early. A huge part of this too is parent education. I let them know before you sign any special education paperwork, which is a whole nother conversation. Let's sit down and talk about what that means. Something like ADHD, goes hand in hand with a child being black, being a black boy. A lot of times, a lot of the symptoms of ADHD are the same symptoms you see in our little black boys. Is it ADHD, or are they just a little black boy being a little black boy? And so there's so much that we just don't know, and we're extremely trusting to a system that is continuing to fail us. And so Burrell Academy's goal is to infiltrate that. I'm starting with preschool, and then, if it's God's vision, if somebody wants to partner to go up, we can go up, and we can have a whole system, a system where they start and they end knowing exactly how bad they are. And watch the multi-millionaires that come out of that. Watch the educators, the lawyers, the doctors, you know what I'm saying? All the people that come out of that. thing. And I'm already seeing just from my little summer programs that I've been doing the beauty and the growth that these children have been making. But then they leave me during the summer and they go back to a system that ain't for them. It makes my job a lot harder. So I definitely am moving towards year round. I'm pushing, I'm grinding, I'm trying for y'all. I love y'all. I love us. And it's our time. Yeah.
That's amazing. Erica, somebody asked a great question as well. Shout out to Lauren, and I saw that she asked something earlier. She said, do you currently offer a mentorship for teachers who would like to go this route? If not, are you planning to implement a mentorship program for teachers?
So in terms of I'm gonna just assume maybe the contractor. I don't know if she means more of the contractor route or the teaching route. But in short, I don't have like a mentorship program for teachers or for educators, but I'm hella accessible. Like email me, DM me, let me know what you need. If I can support you, I will. If I got a resource for it, I'll send it to you. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm that person. I try to give my all to make sure people are their best selves. If you help yourself, I would love to help you. In terms of contracting, we can hop on a consultation call. Like we can do that work. I can let you know what your resume is looking like. I can tell you off rip whether or not this is a good time for you to be able to contract or if you need to spend more time working first, and building that experience out. So I don't have like an official program yet, but somebody just messaged me about the interview. Anyway, that's really cool. I like it. But nevertheless, reach out. I guess y'all like reach out. But anyway, reach out and however I can support you and help you, I definitely will because you deserve it. Teachers work so hard, and I know we say that, and, we're called heroes and all these other things, but we're not treated that way. So it don't matter what somebody say. At the end of the day, what we value, you can look at somebody's paycheck and see whether or not we value that. And teaching is one of those professions we just, as a whole, don't value. So, yeah.
And you said we need a program, and I feel it on that. And I was actually going to be my next question is with young Black educators like yourself, one of my mentors in college who actually said that you were phenomenal in the comments, Dr. Jacob English's 4 chambers in the comments. But, having somebody who showed me an example of how to be a man, how to be in academia, how to move within certain spaces, you're already setting that example. So how do young Black educators unite and start changing our paradigm overall, like our environment, everything? How do we change that?
Yeah, I definitely think we need just more groups and just networking together, right? So more Facebook groups, more group me groups, more ways to get in touch with each other and be like, this is what I'm struggling with. Is there something that you've seen or is there something that you can do? Because I know even in states like Arizona, I walk in and I'm the only one melanated in the room in the school, period. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes that can be difficult. It can be frustrating. So just having that person and be like, look, I'm experiencing the same thing, or I also ain't got no pencils or whatever the case may be, and being able to connect with them hopefully will help us to stay in the field because a lot of us are leaving, and a lot of us are leaving because we ain't being treated right. So I definitely think creating some of these groups. I haven't created any. I was just on a Black Educator podcast that'll be coming out in a few weeks, and so I want to plug them. And I can't think of the exact name off it, but if you message me, I'll send their page. And she's dope. She's doing thinking 500 Black educators and just making that, those connections because we're extremely powerful and we're really needed. So reach out if you see somebody, that's doing something that you love and appreciate, try to connect with them. And let me tell you too, not everybody is going to connect with you, and that's okay. Be like, okay, cool, wish them the best of luck and then go on about doing what it is that you are doing. Don't worry about it. But yeah, for sure.
I love that. As an educator, what has been your most fulfilling moment so far in this experience?
Man, my most fulfilling moment, man, is like a child who couldn't read being able to read. That's boom. You know what I'm saying? That's magical to me. That's the best thing ever. Ever. No matter how many children I teach at this point, I've literally taught hundreds of children how to read because that's what I do, right? So no matter how many situations I get with a child that can't read, them being able to read is so powerful because if you cannot read, that's why 60% of people who can't read are in prison. That's why. Because you can't fill out a job application. You can't go get a replacement Social Security card if you lose yours. You can't self-advocate. You can't do much. Siri is only going to get you so far, and you got to be able to read to be able to download that. You get what I'm saying? Reading is a fundamental thing that connects everything else in life. So when I work with a child or with a student that cannot read and then they're able to read, it's probably that's it. That's it for me. And we got to do better with just teacher reading in general. I know right now in Arizona, 54% of children are not passing the third grade AP merit, and the third grade AP merit is what determines whether or not that child can read fluently. Our kids can't read. Also, let me tell y'all right now, you cannot rely on public schools to teach your child how to read. Legally, there is nothing in place that says they have to teach your child how to read. So if your child is struggling and they don't do something about it, then your child, 13-year-old, easily turns into an 18-year-old that is still not able to read their sound things out, reading comprehension, all of that. It's not this automatic thing. People think I just drop my kid off at school and then they'll be able to read. It ain't how that works at all. They teach a whole class, and in that class, if that child ain't on board, if they can't catch up, then that's too bad. The big problem with that is that our children speak different. They talk different. The word choice and the verbiage is different. No cat has nothing to do with an actual hat, right? It means no hat. So we have all these mixed up words, but then our curriculum is not coming from that place. So it can be a little harder for our children to grasp on because of the concepts are not provided. But the key to teaching a child how to read, specifically a black child, is music and rhythm. Period. Even when I teach children that name, A-R-I, spell them R-E, like having that. They be like A-M-A-R. It's the same reason, we should never have a child that can't read but can tell you every single lyric to a Megan Stallion song. That don't make no sense. That means there ain't nothing wrong with your brain. You able to memorize that means you can memorize the phonics. It's just the way I'm putting the information in a way in which they can understand.
Yes, ma'am. And speaking on rhythm and music and things like that, you're true to yourself. You're a strong black woman. So how do you stay confident and stay true to yourself in that space? Because I've seen many times in college, high school, black educators and just black people switching it up and code switching and not being true to themselves. So how do you stay true to who you are in that space?
Man, let me tell you. You changing who you are messes up a lot of things. Not only does it mess you up, but it also messes up the children that you're working with because they need to see that. They need to see I can be myself and still be educated. Right now, there's this negative connotation that you have to speak a certain way or you're not intelligent. Boo, I got 1, 2, 3 degrees under my name. I don't know how many certifications, how many certificates. They don't go hand in hand. I'm part of Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I got I done been on news channels and everything else. You embody who you are. It takes a minute. It ain't easy, especially when I grew up in an environment of people telling me I'm not gonna be nothing. It ain't gonna work. I'm not worth nothing. Coming from the background that I came from, I struggled a lot with confidence, and it took a long time for me to realize I am good at my craft. I do know what I'm doing. What changed that dynamic was me moving to the South and seeing people who looked like me in positive lights, right? That's what completely changed my mindset around it. But while you're pretending to be somebody else, God designed you who you are for a reason. Somebody needs you. Somebody needs you to be you so that they know that it's okay for them to be them. And my daughter just busted in this so that's where we are right now. You gonna say hi? Ooh, child.
Yeah, you do it.
So, be yourself. Be who you are. That doesn't mean, don't perfect your craft. That doesn't mean stop being a lifelong learner. That means keep what it is that makes you unique to you. And you're late, husband. I'm on a whole time. They've been knocked over the light. Bye. I'm sorry, y'all. But be unique and who you are, and watch how it helps other people. Watch how it helps other people. And also, you decide professionalism. Okay, like that's the other thing. Like this idea of being professional and talking like this, like we ain't doing all that. I have the same credentials as the next person in the room, and mine usually exceed because I'm gonna tell you, as being a black woman, I do have to have more on paper just for you to start listening to what it is that I have to say. So I'm what I did. My degrees didn't teach me how to teach. My experience taught me how to teach. But whatever, I'm gonna get y'all paper so that you can pay me what it is that I need to be paid. So play the game. But just know that you define professionalism. You decide how powerful you are. You decide that. Nobody else decides that.
Awesome. Here's the last question. You dropped so many gems. How do you practice balance? You're a mother, wife, author, educator. How do you practice balance in your life?
I'm one of those people that tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. I don't. I have not figured out work-home life balance. It's something that I struggle with extremely. My husband is one that has taken a lot of hits in terms of time and just energy. And that's one of my big goals. It's like, it's hard because my goal is this huge empire, right? And then in my head, I'm like, if I get there, when I get there, not if, but when I get there, it'll help y'all. But then your loved ones is like, I could care less about you getting more money, or I could care less about you getting, all these things, but I wanted your time. So, in short, to answer your question, I haven't figured that piece out yet. I wake up in the middle of the night after 2 hours of sleep, and I get to grinding, and I get to life, and I go and I look at my investments, and I'll go and I'll just, decide on the next property I want to look at. I'll go and I'll do all these things. My mind is not stopped. And you do have to get to a point to where you find balance or your body will crash. Right? So that's something that I'm working out within me. It's something that I want to continue to grow in. And if you have advice for that, send me a DM and let me know, hey, try this. Hey, I tried the calm app. That didn't work. I wasn't calm. I didn't try a couple of different things. It hasn't worked for me yet. But there's definitely a balance, man. You gotta rest your body. You gotta rest your mind. Sure.
That's right. And last thing before we leave, where can everybody follow you, keep up with you, where can support you?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm on Instagram at Erica Erica M like monkey Burrell Burrell. You can get my books on Instagram and off the website at published PUBLISHED power, like power to the people. And that's publishedpower.com. I'm on Facebook, Erica Burrell. The book is on Facebook, Published Power. I don't know, I'm on YouTube, Erica Burrell. Everything is Erica M. Burrell, right? So, find me, connect with me, and I would love to support and help y'all as best as possible.
Awesome. Erica, thank you so much for your time. You have so much knowledge. Thank you for all that you do. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am.
Next time.
Yes, ma'am. You be safe.
Peace.
Touch me, then I so love